Good evening, Tom.
Hey, how's it going, Joe?
Good. I heard in the past if you could elaborate on like three types of martial movement or martial arts.
Okay, it's real simple. Everybody, talks about like, oh, we are like a combative style, or we're a sports style. We're this. In my opinion, every martial arts, every brand of martial arts or style of martial art has three elements to it. You have combative. Now, most of the what I would consider combative styles train with more scenario-based training. These would be styles these would be using a lot of techniques. They're kind of hard to practice full contact live. The thumbs to the eyes, the ear slaps, the knees to the groin, the stomps, the neck cranks, that type of stuff. Okay, that's one area, one style. Another area or style of martial art would be the sportive. Now, in my opinion, that could go all the way to, it's a definite sport where you can go all the way to the Olympics, or we have rules that we spar by. We spar, and this is the rules we spar by. We have contact, we move, it could be we're scoring it or we're not. That would be towards the sportive side of it. We're not doing everything we can because we want to be able to do it in a format that we can spar. We can go back and forth fairly safely. We're not killing each other. And another area would be what I've heard called demonstrative or traditional. That would be where my goal is to have absolute pristine mechanics and form. The extreme example of that would be, and it would be also considered sport, I guess, but competitive wushu, where I'm being scored on the perfection of my motion, or kata competition. But you know what? Here's the gist as far as my view of it. Everybody might have a focus on one of these, but everybody does a little bit of all of these. There are things that you learn, even in a sport martial art, where you say, okay, this is for sparring, this is for competition, but in self-defense, you can also do this. You can also, maybe if you're Thai boxing, hey, there's a thumb to the eye right there. I mean, yeah, it's a foul, but remember, we could do a groin kick or whatever, but that's there. That's in your back of your mind or in your syllabus somewhere where you understand that's part of it. Okay, sport. Most combative martial arts, primarily, their training is scenario-based. Okay, he's going to come in with a punch. I'm going to do my technique. Or we get in a circle. They're coming at me with different attacks and I defend. Or we set up a scenario and I defend. But a lot of those arts also have some form of sparring. It may be less emphasized, like even from what I understand, I'm not a student of Aikido, but I understand even Aikido has a sparring format. And I understand, like I said, not a student of Aikido, only know it peripherally. There's even a form of Aikido that does have like a sport type of competition. Demonstrative. Okay, yeah. Even people whose main thrust, let's say, is kata competition, well, yeah, they'll still spar. Or even an art that is more combative or sportive, your instructor will put you on the mat and say, let me see this technique, and I want to see perfect form. So, like I said, my spin on it, although there are these three major areas of martial arts we look at, They all interplay with each other. And I think it's egotistical to say that we just have one. Another, like, little example I like to use on this as far as tradition, where there are some arts that say, oh, we are not traditional. And I won't name the specific art or person who teaches. There was somebody who taught World War II combatives, and he stressed it's not. There's no tradition. There's no rituals, no tradition. But at the same time, their weapons, they train. Their, we could say, tradition is you learned certain weapons that were taught for World War II soldiers. You learned the Colt 911 pistol, and you learned how to use the K-bar fighting knife. That was their tradition. And also, yeah, you have to demonstrate techniques in perfect form. All right, just a little thought, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Sifu.